Welcome to the ET322 how-to video for Lab 2, the Diode Lab. Okay, let's run the lab here now that the circuit's done. And let's go ahead and I'm going to see if we could zoom out of this. Zoom area. Good. So let's move it to the top so we have room for our, let's turn it on, open up our Agilent, and it's set up on diode. So when this thing is forward biased, we got 0.536, which is a very reasonable barrier voltage for this device. So let's close him out and let's go open up the next one. And we have an open circuit, which is reasonable when this is reverse bias, being the top is positive and the bottom is grounded. Okay, so let's try the 914, which is a signal diode. It's a smaller diode. 0.57, reasonable forward bias number. And let's take a look at, this is open, reasonable. Alright, let's go down and take a look at our Zener. This Zener would be forward biased, so it should act like a Zener diode, excuse me, like a regular diode. And it's 0.494, which is excellent for a forward voltage on a Zener. And we're not going to do well here because we don't have enough voltage on our meter here in order for it to get to check the Zener voltage. So very few of these meters are able to check the actual Zener voltage. And that's all for the first part of the lab. Okay, what we're going to do is turn our circuit on. Let's bring our measuring equipment out. And what we're going to do is we're going to graph and we're going to make a diode curve. And we're going to adjust this voltage in order to set the current, and then we're going to read the forward voltage on our Zener diode. So let's go down to 0. So we're going to shift A, and that should be 0. That's pretty close to 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to go A, and we're going to go up until we read half a milliamp. And looks like we're going to have to keep doing control. Let's see if we get a half. And let's change this to 1%. Okay, so let's, good. So let's go up again now that we're going to need 500 microamps. Good, that's close. And we have 0.4 millivolts, or 0.4 volts, 478 millivolts. And let's go ahead and keep going up. Let's go straight up to 2 and see if we start getting up to our Zener voltage. Good, and it's half a volt. Okay, we've got a ways to go until we get up to our voltage of our Zener. And actually in this case, this Zener's a diode, so that 0.5 is reasonable. So let's go up to 4. Good. So we're at 4 and we're at 530 millivolts, which is good for a diode setting of that in forward bias, so it acts as a diode, and that's a reasonable number.